On another occasion, a group of non-Muslims is invited to sit down with the circle. The preacher promotes Islam to them, but talks politely about other religions too.
And the message, the Quran, came to confirm the truth in the previous scriptures.
But as soon as the interfaith group leaves, the same preacher's tone changes completely. She now says Christian teachings are vile.
And we feel nothing sometimes going past the church. We don't look at it in disgust and think, subhanAllah, what are these people doing in there? What they say with their tongues is so vile and disgusting. It's an abomination.
Like the other preachers in the circle, she says she's teaching from the works of the Saudi scholars. In this case, Sheikh bin Baz, a former Grand Mufti of the kingdom. The teachings include that a Muslim cannot be tolerant of other religions.
He shouldn't just be indifferent and say things like, you go to church, you know, I go to the mosque, let's all stay together like one big happy family and all be united as humanity. This is false, this does not work, this concept is a lie, it's fake, and it's a farce.
The circle preaches for 8 hours a day on Saturdays and Sundays. Any woman who goes there to pray is likely to hear their preaching. Our reporter is told the circle was set up years ago by Amira, but while she's been in Saudi Arabia, it's been run by this woman, Salim. She too preaches Saudi teachings. She says she's met a Muslim woman who is too friendly to non-Muslims.
When she sees a Kafir woman, big smile. When she turns around, she sees me there. Yeah. It's part of Islam, of the aqeedah, of the correct belief, that you love those who love Allah, and that you hate those who hate Allah. Okay?
The one who changes his deen, what we're going to do? Keep.
The last day will not come until the Muslims fight the Jews and kill them.
Our reporter, a Muslim herself, is going undercover in the most important and influential mosque in the country. London's Central Mosque, an Islamic cultural centre, usually known as Regent's Park Mosque, says it promotes tolerance and interfaith. We featured it in last year's dispatches, and the mosque promised to crack down on anyone promoting extremism on its premises. So she's going back to find out if they've been true to their word. Women aren't allowed in the main hall, so she's directed upstairs to the main women's section on a large balcony overlooking the hall. Hundreds of women and children come here to pray every day. Then the congregation gathers in a large circle. The teacher today is Amira. She says she's teaching from a book by Sheikh Fazan, a senior member of the official Saudi religious establishment.
This is very, very good.
She starts with a revision session on what should happen to people who break Islamic laws, including Muslims who convert to another faith.
But he's Muslim and he get out of Islam. He doesn't want any more. What we're going to do? Keep.
Comes out.
Kill. Then have to kill. You understand? We're talking about Islam. Yeah?
It's the same for adulterers.
For the had the zina, what is the law of this?
Stoning.
Until he died. And the one who is not married, never dies. Now, with 100 now.
The worshippers, many of whom are children or teenagers, are being taught the Saudi Arabian interpretation of Sharia law from official Saudi books. The teachings include the brutal killings of homosexuals and women who act like men.
If someone make themselves like a man, a woman like a man, you understand this, the punishment is kill. Kill them from the highest place. You cannot be to be like animals, living like animals. Or to be like the people of Lut, we have to take the had is to kill them.
This causes a brief debate among the young students. One girl says they should also be stoned.
With the punishment of, throw them from the highest point and then stone them.
Another student says the punishment is approved by the Quran.
Then we reduced him to the lowest of the low. So if you throw someone off a mountain, you are reducing him to the lowest of the low because they're falling off from a high place.
Condemns terrorism and says these punishments will only be carried out in a future Islamic state under a Muslim leader, not in present-day Britain.
حتى ما نقول احنا راح نبدا نقتل في الناس لا هذا لازم يكون امير مسلمين ولما جيش المسلمين يقوى ويكونوا يحاربوا حتى الاسلام كله يعمر.
This fundamentalist interpretation of Islam is being taught in Britain's most important and supposedly moderate mosque. Our reporter finds out where Amira has been trained. She says she's just finished 3 years of study at Medina Mosque in Saudi Arabia. It's the second most holy mosque in Islam, and its imams teach Muslims an interpretation of the faith known to some as Wahhabism. Amira teaches what she says is an important principle in Islam. A Muslim must hate as well as love.
It's not enough that you worship Allah, we have to also, in our heart, hate what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala, please to Allah, and love what Allah subhanahu wa ta'ala.
She says this principle relates to living with non-Muslims.
Hate what displeases to Allah, especially when living with this country that's non-Muslim.
And asks a worshipper to read out a verse from the Quran,
Stand up in his place.
which she says is about relations between Muslims and non-Muslims.
Verily, we are free from you, and whatever you worship besides Allah, we have rejected you, and there has appeared between us and you hostility and hatred forever until you believe in Allah alone.
Amira says it means Muslims must separate from non-Muslims.
You understand, sister? Islam is التبرؤ من الشرك. من الشرك وأهله, the people who do the shirk. Any questions?
After the lesson, our reporter approaches Amira to ask her to clarify her teaching.
You know, when we talked about the love and enmity for Allah, how do we apply that? How as a Muslim do I apply that? Yeah.
Muslims should show good manners to non-Muslims and can try to convert them to Islam, but cannot befriend them. She uses the Arabic term kafir, meaning disbeliever or infidel.
To be good friend, give them all about our secret, understand? But you have to be friend with them. That is not allowed. Because wala is only to Muslim, not to the kafir.